I saw a guy walking down the street the other day. It was about 95 degrees Fahrenheit here, hot, and he's wearing a face mask and a spit shield with nobody around him for 100 feet.
Got a crazy video for you today.
She's not yours, it's just your turn. A woman should be a complement to your life, not the focus.
Do the work.
Women do not care about your struggles. They hang out at the finish line and they pick the winners. What is up, my brothers from another mother? We are living in some strange ass times right now. I gotta tell you guys, this situation that we're in is a little bit frightening from the perspective of how easy we have given up our personal freedom, liberties, and rights. I live in Canada, and as of the end of May, you can still go and shovel highly processed, genetically modified food, fast foods, burgers, that kind of stuff, in your face, buy as much alcohol and weed as you want. Again, all of those facilities are still open here. But if I want to go to the dojo and train, or if I want to go and lift weights, I can't do that. Literally the only thing that are open is transportation, food, and medical facilities. I just got my blood draw done for TRT, which I do every 4 odd months or so. And it's like everywhere you go, everybody looks at you in a bizarre way, as if to say, what are you doing out? Or why aren't you wearing a mask? I had a guy the other day at Home Depot. I had to get some fasteners to get something hung up. Talking to the clerk, there was another guy there, and about, I don't know, 2/3 of people seem to be wearing these, these masks. In some cases, it's excessive. There's some guys wearing like spit shields and face masks as well. And it really disturbs me how quickly people have adopted this mentality, this mindset of, we're so fragile and so weak and so it's almost like you're butter and you're gonna melt because you're such wimpy, useless, slabs of meat. And you're not. Look, there's lineups over here to go in and get freaking food. It's like everywhere you go, they have little dots on the ground. Comply like the sheep that you are. Stand this far apart. Wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you get shamed, by the way. This guy at the Home Depot, he basically said to the clerk who wasn't wearing a mask, he goes, well, aren't you afraid you're going to get sick? And this is an older guy. And he kind of had a look on his face like, dude, I'm 65. I've lived through everything. It doesn't bother me. But being the nicer, older, seasoned gentleman that he was, he said, well, you're wearing a mask, so I'm fine. And then he motions towards me saying, well, he's not wearing a mask. It's like, I wanted to get into it with him and just basically say, look, dude, you're part of the problem. But I've gotten to the point where it's like, listen, it's ZFG for me. 0 F's given. And society is just so complacent and compliant today. I can't believe we're on about month 3 and a bit now. Month 3 and a bit of this quarantine nonsense where you've got very, very limited freedoms. You can't take your kids to the park and play on the equipment because God forbid you're all going to die and melt away or get some kind of, badass disease that's going to turn you a zombie. That's basically what I think a lot of people were prepping for when we started to hear about what was going on with COVID was, okay, this is the zombie apocalypse, it's coming, but it never came. There was no, mass deaths, no mass graves. I heard guys telling me, they were DMing me and say, oh, out here in this part of Ireland, they're training city councils on how to dig mass graves. Oh, or over here, there's going to be mass food shortages. Oh, over here, the hospitals are going to be overwhelmed and not be able to deal with the amount of people that need medical treatment and care and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we have nurses making twerking TikTok videos still to this day, looking for attention and validation online on social media. Where is this pandemic? This is the worst pandemic ever. This is the weakest ass, pathetic, most basic reason to shut down the economy, and yet we've done that. And the ease with which people comply like sheep and line up behind their dots and wear their masks and their spit. I saw a guy walking down the street the other day. It was about 95 degrees Fahrenheit here, hot, and he's wearing a face mask and a spit shield with nobody around him for 100 feet. Like, what are you trying to protect yourself from, you muppet? There is No danger to you walking down the street like that. Yet we've actually got ourselves to a position in society where we're happy to comply like sheep and get in line and stay at home like good little sheep. The sheeple have arisen. The sheeple have really demonstrated how frightened they are of what is literally nothing. I mean, the stats reveal that more people die or died last year anyway in the typical flu season, but we didn't shut down the economy. More people die every year from car accidents, but we still drive cars. You know, there's more people die from diabetes and cardiovascular disease, but we're still serving hamburgers and fricking weed and alcohol and cigarettes. Why can't I go to the damn gym and throw some weights around? Why can't I get on my bike and ride through, the trails because they've been shut down? Because sheep are compliant idiots. This is the stage that we've gotten to in society, gentlemen. We've gotten to the point where we've actually gotten to the point where we're compliant to the sense that if the state tells us to do something, if the state says jump, we say how high. Right? We actually have people that are getting paid more now to stay at home and not go to work than what they did exchanging their time for value to the company that they were working for to provide a product or service or something. We actually do have people here, I know for a fact, that are getting paid more by the government to stay home and do nothing. And that's why you see this movement to, yes, we'll just be compliant sheep. We will just wear our masks and stand on our dots and wait for our turn so we can collect our check and sit at home and watch Netflix and get stoned all day on the unlimited amount of weed and alcohol that we can get from the government and food. But we're not going to go to work because that's too scary. God forbid we do something productive in society and contribute and do, look, freaking lineups for services at the service center. Stand on your dots. Make sure you all stand on your dots out there, you compliant sheep, you beta sheep. This is where we are today, gentlemen. This is the state of society and humanity today. Weak soy sheep. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what to call this video, but it is utterly disturbing to me that we've gotten to this point for the last 90 odd days that we've completely pussified and turned the vast majority of society into sheep. And the dot, standing on the dots, the dot people is what I'm going to call them. The sheeple dot people are definitely a sign and a signal that you should be aware of, men. I know that there's a good chunk of you out there that are high value, doing the work, putting a dent in the universe, that aren't letting this get in your way, and you should. I definitely subscribe to that notion. I've been living that myself. Things have not gotten worse for me. I've definitely become more anti-fragile and learned something from this. But this is a bizarre time, man. Even my parents, when I talk to my dad, I'm like, have you ever seen anything like this in your entire life? And he's like, no. Not even after the war. After World War II, when things were rationed, when eggs and bread and even buttons for clothing were rationed, he said, did we ever have a time where people were quarantined and told not to go different places and stand on dots? It's just, man, the ease with which people have complied with this it's scary, it's frightening. I don't know what's up, but this is something that every man out there that's worth his salt should be concerned with. This is not normal. This is something that they're trying to impose to be a new norm. And in my view, in my estimation, it's not a good thing. Guys, be aware of your surroundings and just what we're up against today and what we're going to be leaning into the future. Make sure that you are making yourself your own mental point of origin and you're doing the work. There's a lot that you can do to improve yourselves and get a better ROI in your life. I encourage you to do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a smash and leave me a comment below. What do you think? Am I out to lunch on this? I don't know. This is something that I've never seen before and it does frighten me. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.